Welcome into another episode of the Los Angeles Rams Insider Podcast on Sports Illustrated from the Fans First Sports Network. My name is Tom Cavanaugh. You can follow me at TCAV30 on Twitter/X and follow our insider pages at Rams Insider on SI. We are fresh off of the 12-6 win for the Rams, taking down the Niners on the road. Winners of 7 of their last 9, 3 straight divisional wins for this Rams team, and what do you know? Just like last year when they put together a 7-1 record at the end of the year to sneak into a playoff spot at 10-7, the Rams continue to get it done. Head coach Sean McVay pulls out one of the guttier, grindier performances, I would say, of the year. I mean, you break this down. If you were a bettor and you had a first touchdown or a touchdown score at all in this game, oh my gosh, my heart goes out to you. 12-6. All field goals, 6 of them, unbelievable game. I mean, we saw, 12 punts in the first half out of 14 total drives. Usually when we're watching these NFL games, we're seeing 4, maybe 5 drives in a half per team. We saw 7 apiece, 3 and outs all over the board, back-to-back 3 and outs to start the ball game. The Niners get on the board with a long field goal from Jake Moody. And then what ensues is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 straight punts before the Rams battle back with a triple of their own. Josh Carty, he was perfect today as well. Josh Carty, 4 of 4. A lot of his field goals he had to convert were inside of 30 yards, but he hit his first one from about 48. Hats off to the rookie, Josh Carty, for tying the game, setting the tempo. It was 3-3 at halftime. I mean, this is one of the lower scoring ball games as a whole, but in the first half, I saw a stat watching the broadcast that it's the last time we had this low of a scoring game between these two rival teams was 2009. 3-3 at the half is ugh. I mean, it was tough to watch for a while because neither team could get anything going. And I know there was an absolute downpour in Santa Clara. I mean, it was unbelievable. You could see Sean McVay wearing his gray sweatshirt, and it was so completely dripping wet. Kyle Shanahan had a huge raincoat over his head, controlling that sideline. So, I mean, it was chaos the entire game. And when you looked at the passing stats in the first half, I mean, Brock Purdy was okay. He had 96 in the first half. Stafford had 23. He was 4 of, I think, 12 throwing. Both teams really, really struggled to throw the football tonight. And obviously the rain, but also these defenses stepped up, specifically the Rams, or more so did the Rams. You look at the final numbers. Stafford breaks his touchdown to streak, but did not throw an interception, so continues to keep that turnover streak going. 16 of 27 for 160 yards, 0 tutties, 0 interceptions, and how about 0 sacks again? This offensive line continues to show up. We thought Alaric Jackson might not be able to play in this game. Same thing with Bo Limmer. They were both questionable coming out of practice on Wednesday. They both stepped up, helped out that offensive line, and Stafford stayed clean for the second straight week without a sack. Kyren Williams, stud on the ground, 108 yards on 29 carries. He had a great day. Now, obviously, we don't have any touchdowns to report because it was all field goals all day long, but Kyren was really the muscle to the offense, specifically down the stretch. Niners had they were trying to get off the field defensively. Rams had a 9-6 lead after kicking a field goal, getting a turnover. They went right down the field, not by throwing the ball. Well, there were a few play action rollouts to Parkinson and company. I think Tutu had a nice catch as well. But Williams, I mean, right up the gut between the tackles, he gained a very crucial first down to keep the chains rolling, keep that clock ticking. And the Rams kicked another field goal to go up by 6 with just 20 seconds left. Now it's a 4th and 3 situation. You probably kick the field goal there, even though you're making a one-score game by separating your lead from 3-6. But with 20 seconds left, you got to trust your defense in that situation. And Sean McVay came up big in that aspect, not leaving the offense out on the field on 4th down, but kicking that field goal, making Carty 4 of 4 for the night. And man, Puka Nacua, he was 3 yards away once again from having yet another 100-yard game. He caught 7 passes for 97 yards on 8 targets, so pretty much caught everything he had. And the next closest player in receptions, there were 3 guys tied with 2. That was Colby Parkinson, the backup tight end, Hunter Long, another backup tight end, and the backup running back, Blake Corum. I mean, it was Puka and Puka only all day long. And the Niners' defensive secondary knew that. They just can't stop him. I continue to say that Puka's a top 5 receiver, and the more people I talk to and offer that to, They agree with me. I mean, he's really up there with everybody else. If the first catch he looked like David Tyree in the Super Bowl, had to wrap his hands around a defender, pin the ball to the back of his defender's helmet, and still come down with it. So Puka was great. Cooper Kupp, 3 targets, no catches, no yards. Demarcus Robinson, just 1 target in the game. This is his second straight game for Demarcus that he has not caught a pass or recorded any yardage. So it's very telling how this Rams team can go as well as, or they can go as long as Puka does, is what I was trying to say there. I mean, Kupp and Robinson not having good games. It's it's been not par to the course so far this year. Both those guys have been really good. Marcus leads in touchdown receptions, and Kupp as well. I mean, he's putting up 85 to 90 yards a game. But you got to give credit to Puka. I mean, he continued to be the constant factor in the offense. So did Kyren Williams, and that's why the Rams won this ball game. Also, their defensive pass rush, I mean, it was incredible. Purdy sacked 3 times, but the amount of times he was pressured in this game really played a part, specifically late in the game. It was a 9-6 ball game, I think, at the moment. Check back down. It was 9-6. Rams were leading. And Niners are making a push. And it looked like they were going down to score a touchdown and take a lead when everything had been stalemate with the field goals. Pressure gets on Purdy on a big first down play, or second down it was. 3 or 4 guys on him. You got Fisk, you got Verse, you got Kobe Turner swarming all over Purdy. Hoists the ball up towards the corner. This was just outside the red zone. This was at the Rams' 33-yard line, so the Niners were pushing. Darius Williams, over his shoulder, makes a nice 2-hand interception. Always feels like when the Rams need a big play, a new, different cornerback or safety steps up in a big moment, whether it's Cam Kinchens, whether it's Jalen McCullough, whether it's Kobe Durant, who was out tonight but still has played a big part this year. Darius Williams, he's the one in his 7th year out of UAB coming up huge for the squad, getting that takeaway. And that was kind of how this game was going to go. The first team to either score a touchdown or force a turnover was going to win the game, and that's what it was. Because let's say Darius doesn't catch that ball. Right there, the Niners are kicking a field goal. And then maybe the Rams offense on the other side changes schematically. They do something different. But instead, they went right down the field and had to settle for 3. But they were glad to do so on 4th and 3 as they ticked down, I think 6 minutes it was on the clock. Yeah, it was 5 full minutes on 13 plays for 70 yards. So hats off to the Rams for being able to churn those drives and make that adjustment that they were unable to do in the first half. When you look at the Niner numbers, Brock Purdy, $142 passing, 14 of 31. I mean, incompletions all over the yard. When you look at the run game, the Rams for the second straight game. Now, it's funny. The Rams over the last 3 games prior to this had faced running backs in Saquon Barkley, Alvin Kamara, James Cook. Not saying Isaac Guerendo is a bad back, but he's a rookie fresh to the league, and he had his first start last week. They handled him pretty nicely. 16 carries for 57 yards. That was pretty much all the run game was. Deebo Samuel tried to carry the football. He had 2 carries for 3 yards. And then in the receiving game for the Niners, it was really just George Kittle, 61 yards on 4 receptions, but he never broke out for anything major. I think he caught one on the first field goal that the Niners had for 33 yards. And that was really the biggest play they allowed him to have all night. Juwan Jennings chipped in with 31 yards on 2 catches, and Guerendo with 4 receptions, 18 total yards. Pearsall and Deebo got in on the action as well. But, I mean, this Rams defense, I mean, it wasn't really a bend and not break situation. They just would give up one chunk play for a first down and then hold on the second set of downs. Looking at it defensively, Christian Rozeboom, once again the star. Rozeboom actually had the sack to seal the game as the Niners were sending everybody deep. With time ticking, actually expiring down, and Purdy was going to hoist something up deep for a miracle. Rozeboom got to him first, picked up the sack. Kobe Turner, he was awesome in the game. He had 5 total tackles and a pair of sacks with 2 tackles for loss. Byron Young recorded a tackle for loss. Omar Spates, the rookie, came through once again. I mean, 3 sacks, 5 tackle for losses right there. Trent Williams being out for the Niners was a big piece in this game. I mean, they had kind of been okay with it last week against the Bears, but Chicago's pass rush, I mean, can be defended. We've seen it in the past from other teams. They've had some games where they get home, some games they don't. But the Rams pass rush has been consistent all year long, and they have so many different guys that can impact the game from both sides. And it was just too much for the Niners today, especially late in the game when Purdy was pressured. through the interception, and on the last play when Rosebroom got home with the sack. So from here, saw another cool graphic from Next Gen Stats powered by Amazon. It was that a win for the Rams here in this game bumps their playoff chances up to 50%. Pretty good. And for the Niners, they had an 11% chance coming in, and a loss puts them at 0.1% chance to make the playoffs. So you can almost write off the Niners as a team. I didn't think they were going to be making the playoffs even at 6-7 when they got the win against Chicago last week, but not anymore. 6-8. This is a look in the mirror type moment for San Francisco, missing the playoffs here. For Los Angeles, they're 8-6. They're hoping that the Green Bay Packers can get it done on Sunday Night Football, take down the Seahawks. And Seattle moving to 8-6 with a loss would put both those teams tied in first place in the NFC West. Rams have won 7 of the last 9. They've won 3 in a row, and they've won 3 straight in the division, playing some of their best football, and once again, a classic Sean McVay late-season surge as we get set for next week, next Sunday at 1 o'clock, taking on the New York Jets on the road, and then the final 2 games of the season will be at home against the Cardinals and the Seahawks, couple of birds to finish it off. Thanks so much for tuning into the Los Angeles Rams Insider Podcast today. We are going to be back tomorrow to clean up this victory on a Friday, look at a few bumps and bruises on both sides when it comes to, things to clean up and then also actual injuries. We'll see you again next time. Thanks so much for listening, everybody. Tom Cavanaugh saying so long. We'll see you again tomorrow.